Hello, everybody. Sorry I didn't get on yesterday. It was a pretty rough day. I pretty much slept all day. I do have brain um, injury from all the strokes that I have had because of the mutation. So, um, at least that's what we think is the cause. But anyway, I want to make sure I got something on today. I'm not going to talk for very long right now, but I'll try to get on there a little bit later. And I had rehab today. Went well, and I walked more with a walker during rehab. So I'm hoping to eventually out of my little chair and at least onto a walker, which will lead me onto a cane. So that's good news, and we'll catch up with you a little bit later. Well, I forgot to tell you. I was going to tell you guys some stuff today. Um, my this we're fighting for the Social Security disability, and right now I'm on long-term disability that I got through my school, and they last when I was inpatient in a physical um, rehab center after being in the hospital. I was too weak to go home, so I had to go back. I can't. It's when I came home in the wheelchair. But while I was there, they wanted records for the last year and only gave me 10 days. So I had to sign power of attorney over to my dad, and he ran around and got records, and the lawyer sent him in, and I got that right. This month, I get a letter from them saying that if I can't prove that I filed for Social Security, they're going to cut me off. And so I called the attorney's office that's taking care of that, and they're going to send a letter, but it just seems like they are trying so hard to not follow through and pay the money. I paid a premium on this the entire time I was working, or at least the last few years. I don't know when the policy started. I didn't even know I had it until I got sick, and the school told me. So I've been paying premiums on it, and they have tried so hard to not pay. I actually had to go after them with an attorney, and all their doctors said that it was their doctors that said I wasn't fit to work. Um, and even then, they wouldn't budge. And so my attorney, said basically, well, I guess we just have. He was gonna sue him for breach of contract, and because they weren't following any rules that they had stipulated, and it was their doctors, and they pointed out, it's your doctors that says that she can't work, and um, so they backed off and they agreed. Well, then 4 months later, I called my attorney and said, when should I expect anything? And you haven't got anything yet? No. And I would have paid you if I had. And so he wrote them a letter that was fairly nasty. And surprisingly enough, about 2 weeks later, I got my check. I really believe that they never would have sent it had he not gone back after them. And now every month it's something different with them to try to get it cut off. Um, but it's so. But today I did get a hold of the attorneys. Yesterday I called the attorney's office and left a message. And about late in the day, after quitting time, the attorney called me, and I was explaining to him this story, and he kind of hem-hawed around a little bit, and I said, are you having trouble understanding me? And he said, no. And I said, you're not my attorney, are you? And he said, no, I'm not. And I said, oh, no, I don't know who my attorney is. And bless his heart, he stayed on the phone, and he said, well, wait a minute, don't hang up. He said, let me help you figure out who your attorney is. And so I described my attorney, and he was able to figure out who my attorney was and gave me the phone number so that I could call on them today. And so I just give a shout out to Charlie Rice from Notre Dame. He's an attorney in South Bend, but he's not my attorney. But he helped me find mine out of the kindness of his heart, and I really appreciated it because I was having such a difficult day yesterday, even talking. So They're still out there. The nice guys are still out there. So that's the only other things that has gone on today that I can think of. My oldest is having some trouble. He got a concussion, and it turns out that it was pretty bad while I was in rehab. I requested the people that were taking care of him to take him to the doctor and have him checked. They didn't do it. They said, oh, the doctor would just say rest. I did everything but check myself out of rehab and take him in, which is probably what I should have done. But after talking to him, he's been having some trouble, unusual trouble for him. Excuse me. Unusual trouble for him, and he started talking, and I could tell by what he was saying that there's some damage there. And then he told me that he actually lost consciousness for a little while, and I did not know this before, and I'm beside myself, furious that I left that these are people that have children and they know better. But I'm really concerned. He's really concerned because he sees me deteriorating and having problems, and he's scared that that's going to happen to him. I tried to assure him as best I can that, with the right treatment, he'll be okay as long as we don't get any more concussions and we don't do anything to make this one worse. So I was able to get a hold of somebody today that's going to test him to see where he's at as far as concussion goes. It's called impact test or something like that. So I'm hopeful about that. I feel much better about that. And so all in all, it's been a productive day, and I'm exhausted. And but it's a good exhaustion when you can finally get those things done. Well, I'm back, and listen, the door must be open because I hear crickets. Can you hear crickets? I don't see any. The door's closed, but I hear crickets, so I'm gonna go check it out. But I just thought, finish it up here. It is open. It's a good thing I don't have my service cat anymore because the cat was always getting out. So I'm going to go over here and close. Oh, the door. Yeah? Oh, okay. I heard the crickets. I was seeing where the crickets were coming from. Okay. Somebody just watching it through the door. Anyway, been a good day and a long day. So I'm going to call it a night and say good night to all of you. Have a pleasant night. Sleep well, and we'll see you tomorrow.